Jiraiya is a character I believe not a lot of fans fully appreciate or understand. People believe he truly was just a perverted old man that did nothing right. And well, my answer is, you're only half right. Jiraiya was a person who traveled and wanted to learn many things and also do many things, understanding the ways of human nature and conflict, having to find the answer for true peace, taking care of children who desperately needed his support at the time. Jiraiya was a person who believed doing everything correctly at that given moment, but to only reflect on his own life to realize he failed at everything he did. We as human beings, we believe we do everything right at that exact moment, but then realize it was not the best decision later on in life. Time is what makes us understand we have failures and mistakes among ourselves, but when the moment is actually happening, we truly believe we are doing everything correctly in that exact moment, and nothing bad will happen or come from it. But after Jiraiya had his reunion with Nagato Pain, that's when he took some huge judgment on himself and realized, I didn't accomplish the things correctly of what I believed what was the right decision such a long time ago. Imagine trying to be the best teacher to guide a young child into the right direction in life, telling him what pain means to become a stronger human being and how to protect others that are precious to you, just to take everything on a very reverse level. And that one kid who you tried to help is now your enemy and wants you dead. How do you think Jiraiya felt in that moment to have the opportunity to guide someone in the most positive direction of life just for everything to come back to haunt you? And you believe you're a failure now, and everything you accomplished never went in the right direction that you believed in. Jiraiya, with his last remaining words, said he was unable to save his friend from choosing the wrong path, going into his future life. He was never able to win the heart of someone he loved since childhood, and currently unable to take his own student down, who he cared about such a long time ago, but now is trying to take him down. Stop pain so peace can remain peaceful in the Shinobi world. But he failed that as well. Jiraiya is a broken human being who wanted to do the right thing for people he cared about, but when he gave care to those who needed it, they gave him a broken heart and nothing but sadness for a comeback of a gift. Being attacked by the same child you took care of and raised has to be such a painful moment to feel and bear. Every time Jiraiya gave care to someone who needed it, they came back later into his life just to stab him. He tried so hard to save Orochimaru from himself, but nothing would work, and he as well tried to kill Jiraiya. I feel for Jiraiya's character trying to do good in the world, trying to seek out peace through conflict, traveling to learn and wanting to use your experience to bring great change to the Shinobi world, or in the world in general. There is nothing wrong in trying to make a real difference in the world, but we've seen so many times life is just cruel, and it's just not as peaceful as we want it to be. Nothing went well for Jiraiya in his life, but he kept trying harder. Nagato was so set and filled with his new ideology, Jiraiya was nothing but a nostalgic memory for him. But he's come way too far for any regrets for his own previous master. In order for Pain to fulfill his ideology and goals professionally, he has to get rid of anything from his past to keep reminding himself nothing else matters in this world besides his dream. Jiraiya told Nagato he would have wished for him to move on from pain and hatred and change the world in a new day of light, but it didn't seem like he ever tried to move past it. Pain wanted to change the world in a much opposite direction of how Jiraiya would have viewed Nagato to change the world from the conversations they had when he was just a child. Jiraiya did what he had to do for the Shinobi world. He killed his own student. Even though this was not the end of Pain, the amount of levels Jiraiya would go for to protect the world that he lives in was fascinating. In the Shinobi world, you have to push back your emotions and feelings in order to accomplish your missions, or what you have to do to save lives. Pain pushed his feelings of Jiraiya way the hell back in order to continue his ideology. Jiraiya had to hide his feelings back about the fact he trained and raised Nagato from when he was just a small child, in order to accept who Nagato is currently, that he has to be stopped, no matter what. It's just how the world is built. On a much more personal level, I personally relate to Jiraiya the most compared to any other character in Naruto. Jiraiya is a person who tried to walk in the right direction but had many failures on his journey, but he kept trying anyways. We see him struggle trying to do the right thing over and over again, but nothing seems to work for him. His last remaining dialogue when he said, in the Shinobi world, it's not how you live, it's how you die. A person's life is not measured by how long they live, but what they were able to accomplish before their death. That dialogue and that pattern of emotional honesty really gets me in the emotions. We all struggle in some degree that we feel like we are failures and we can't do the things that we wish that we could have done better, or that we didn't accomplish within our youth. I view myself as a failure in life, and just like Jiraiya, I try to live my life the best way I can with the decisions and regrets carried on my back from my past. I believe we all can learn something great from Jiraiya to keep on trying to live life the best way we can. We will always have our bad choices on our journeys, but just like Jiraiya also said, our past actions are what taught us to become the person that we are today, that we take every lesson and accept it as knowledge, that we are becoming a better person slowly. Jiraiya believed all of his bad decisions is what honed him to be better. Now then, there's one important thing of element that I've noticed in Jiraiya as a person. Everyone wondered why did he never visit Naruto growing up, when Kushina wanted Jiraiya to meet Naruto, and I honestly believe that's part of Jiraiya's downfall as a person. Kishimoto, in my opinion, left some storytelling unanswered about Jiraiya. I strongly believe Jiraiya went through a downfall phase very heavily. Jiraiya went from writing an inspirational book about the ninja world to writing perverted books. Everyone who saw him later in his life called him a joke. I'm aware his perverted moments were for comedy relief, and some fans believe it did not age well for him because when we see Jiraiya's past, he's a very mature ninja, he's having deep conversations about life and what it means to feel pain to a 7-year-old. He taught 3 kids how to survive on their own, and when we first met Jiraiya in the original series, Jiraiya without a doubt is a character to not take seriously. I mean, hear me out, Jiraiya found out that he lost his S-rank star pupil, Minato. Orochimaru, a friend of his that he tried to help, betrayed him and tried to kill him. He found out the kids he taught ninjutsu with for survival and worked with them for 3 years were murdered during the war. Jiraiya kept taking downfall after downfall after downfall after downfall. So in some degree of context, it does make sense why Jiraiya would finally return to the Leaf Village, but as a former shell of himself. I promise you, Jiraiya in his early 30s versus Jiraiya in his early 50s are not the same person mentally. One version of himself wanted to travel and learn and talk about his experience, while the other one decided to give up on a lot of things, chose a life of pervertedness, alcohol, writing porn books, and everyone called him a joke because everything else that he did. Kishimoto, I feel like we are missing a downfall character arc about Jiraiya from you. But this is just my personal opinion on Jiraiya. Without a doubt, he is one of my favorite well-written characters in all of Naruto. He went through a lot as a person, and I connect with him personally when it comes to how he lived and everything he went through. Learning, making bad decisions that hopefully will educate you to become a better person and just live your life the best way you can. I'm Felix. Subscribe if you want, stand at your word, and please let me know what you think about Jiraiya, and have a good night. Bye.